Since ancient times, human beings all over the world have embarked on an astonishing and dangerous quest. It is a voyage into a land that even to this day remains unknown. A place of fantastic sights and sounds. A realm of sublime and terrifying creatures, where the laws of physics are ignored. It is a quest into the hidden mysteries of the human mind. The search for an altered state of consciousness, a sacred reality beyond what our senses can perceive.
People do, all over the world, ubiquitously in human culture, seek some means to get out of the everyday state of consciousness and reality. And that desire to do that is so common in the human experience that it almost has to be seen as part of the basic human appetite.
The quest for a world beyond our senses is one of the oldest and deepest yearnings of mankind. There is intriguing evidence that at the dawn of our earliest cultures, human beings were already experts at journeying beyond everyday consciousness. In southern France, the walls of limestone caverns are covered with magnificent paintings of long extinct animals, created by hunters of the Old Stone Age some 25,000 years ago. But some cave paintings have defied interpretation. Deep within one cave, an enigmatic scene depicts a wounded bison and a mysterious human figure who lies on the ground, apparently in a trance. Some scholars believe this painting may be the earliest portrait of the first human beings to experiment with altered consciousness. The mysterious figures known as shamans.
They are the mediators between this world and the other world, between the physical and the spiritual, if you will. They are the people who can actually project their spirit or their soul into another dimension.
How have the shamans and those who follow them made their perilous mind-bending journeys to the land of visions and gods? Over countless millennia, seekers have traveled many paths. Native Americans often induced visions by fasting in the wilderness or by torturing themselves in rites of pain. And in Africa, trance dancing is the favored way to liberate the mind from the limits of physical reality.
Africans say, you white people go to church and speak about God, but we dance in the temple and become God. The central quest of all human beings is to find some technique of ecstasy that allows them to alter their state of everyday consciousness.
Among the many ways we have sought a higher consciousness, one has always been the most potent and the most perilous of all. Over the centuries, human beings have ingested an amazing variety of mind-altering substances and have seen fantastic, often terrifying visions of another world. Some scholars ask whether those visions could have played a role in the development of the world's great religions. The question is highly controversial, but in one ancient society, drugs and religion may have been deeply intertwined. Sometime around 1500 BC, India was invaded by tribes of nomads from the north. Today, we call these invaders the Aryans. Their sacred hymns, called the Vedas, were the mystical foundations of Hinduism. The ancient Vedas sing the praises of a mysterious, mind-altering substance called Soma.
Like the wild winds, the draughts I have drunk have lifted me. Have I not drunk Soma? The sky and earth are not equal even to one half of me. Have I not drunk Soma? In my glory I eclipsed all heaven and earth. Have I not drunk Soma? Rig Veda, Book 10.
They have a sense that if they enter 1 whit more into this, it would be like plugging a toaster into a power line. That the intensity of the vision, what was being held, would just be too much for a frail mortal frame, and one would just disintegrate.
What was this drug of astonishing power, so reverently described but never identified by the ancient Aryans who worshipped it?
This has been one of the great botanical and anthropological mysteries, because nobody has ever figured out with certainty what Soma is. There were a lot of descriptions of it, that it was something that was squeezed from a plant. It certainly sounds as if it was a major visionary experience, and this was a central aspect of their religion.
We may never know whether the great religious traditions of India were inspired by the ancient ecstasies of the Soma cult. The Aryan sacred drug has disappeared into time's shadows. Some scholars believe that in the end, Soma's priests lost control of this extraordinary substance.
Soma was beginning to be used for recreational purposes, and its religious meaning was being eroded, and rather than have that happen to their revered plant god, they simply agreed to close the door on that chapter of their history.
Was Soma's power so awesome that a fearful ancient people banned its use forever? The question may remain unanswered. But Soma is only one example of the age-old use of mind-altering substances in our search for a higher reality. Next, we enter the altered states of the Greeks, the Romans, and the holy men of the Bible, and explore the possibility that even Jesus of Nazareth may have encountered a